Julian Tavares takes over on the mound. Had another terrific regular season. Durable, pitching in 74 games. He's been knocked around in 2 appearances during the division series against San Diego. In an inning and a third, allowed 4 hits and 2 runs, including a home run. Cardinal bullpen has not been good during this playoff. Now, Tony La Russa will say they came into games where they had big leads and didn't worry about walking guys. As Brad Lidge now gets warmed up in the Houston bullpen. Which we remember last year during League Championship Series play, and Tavares in Game 4 melted down in the dugout.
Gave up a big home run, then fired the next pitch over Bagwell's head. Got fined $10,000 from the league for that. Came in and punched the dugout phone. Phone won that battle. They usually do.
The phone is undefeated lifetime.
Yes, it is. Broke his hand. And then the toughness of Tavares. Pitched later on in that series with the broken hand.
Game 7 and pitched well.
Said his father was so upset with him he wouldn't talk to him. That's the way fathers get when you punch dugout phones.
3-1 to Lance Berkman. Lined into right field, and that is a fair ball into the corner. Berkman making a turn on his way to second. It dies in the corner down there. So Berkman able to pull up with a leadoff double.
Well, Berkman was taken out of that 18-inning game after he hit his grand slam. Phil Garner said he took more criticism for that move. He hoped to try to win it later on in the ball game with a pinch runner. Berkman spent the rest of that game yawning on the bench.
Ball 1 to Morgan Ensberg, who is 0 for 3 tonight, 1 of 7 so far in the LCS. And again, Ensberg 36 home runs during the regular season without a home run during this postseason. 1-0 from Tavares. Fouled away.
Bobby, are you surprised at pitch location against Ensberg? They have consistently gone in on Ensberg. Been successful so far, but I think it's a very dangerous place to pitch him.
Absolutely a dangerous place. He's not quite as open as he was during the regular season. He had a very exaggerated open stance. He's closed it up a little bit, but still a middle in hitter, no question.
Coming in again, and they tied him up. Well, that is not a productive at bat at all by Ensberg.
Like you said, either you go the other way or you're the run producer. You get that bat head out and smoke one into left field.
Big hole now on the left side of the Cardinal defense along their infield. Nunez only about 2 steps off that third base line, and it's strike 1 to Jason Lane. Lane 0 for 3 has struck out twice, once looking, the other swinging. And a slow roller to short again. 2 away. Astros now 0 for 14 in this series with runners in scoring position.
Well, as a manager, in an odd kind of a way, you almost wish when you got that runner at second base and nobody out, you had the bottom of your order coming up. Guys that you would sacrifice with, then pinch hit for the pitcher spot. But when you're in the middle of your order with your RBI guys that have produced for you all year, you hesitate to ask them to give themselves up.
But hang on a minute, Bob Brenly. If I remember correctly, you asked Matt Williams to put down a sacrifice during the 2001 World Series at Yankee Stadium.
You do what you got to do. I had confidence that Matty could do it. I'd seen him do it every day in batting practice. I'd seen him do it in games. I'm not so sure Morgan Ensberg could put down a sacrifice bunt. His effort to try to goose the ball to the right side of the infield didn't work very well. I think, like Steve and I were saying, I'd much rather see him go up there and take a big swing and try to drive the ball into the gap. If you're going to ask your RBI guy to swing the bat, then go up there and swing the bat.
And don't ask him to give himself up. If he's in the middle of your order, he's there for a reason. You know, you don't like to see guys not move runners over, but he's supposed to drive the run in. Go up there and do it any way you can.
1-1 to Chris Burke. And that one comes all the way back to the screen. And they still throw down to third. That's a dangerous play by Molina. He had no chance to throw out Berkman. And that throw down to Nunez wound up in the dirt, and very slow getting up is Berkman at third.
Well, there's a cliche that is kicked around so much in sports. Just stay within yourself. Don't try to do too much. Yadier Molina's trying to do a little bit too much here. This ball is off the backstop. He got a very fortuitous bounce right back to him, but you can see Berkman was already sliding into the bases. Nunez had to block that ball in the dirt.
Yeah, he took the chance that everyone kind of lets go of that play when they see the ball get by him. Maybe Nunez isn't even watching at that point.
And Burke, a base hit into left field. Will score Berkman. Their first hit in the first 2 games of this LCS with a runner in scoring position, and wouldn't you figure Chris Burke would be the man to get it. I mean, this time of year you don't worry about hurting feelings.
Generally gets his opportunities against left-handers. Got that base hit off a righty.
Ball 1 to Adam Everett. 0 for 3 tonight. Kenny Albert told us earlier they're referring to Burke as the babe in that Astros clubhouse.
You know, once again, in talking about Chris Burke, commenting that that was a hit against a right-handed pitcher, this is a guy that played against everybody in the minor leagues.
Yep.
He faced righties, lefties, hard throwers, soft tossers. It didn't matter. A lot of times I think we do young players a disservice when they get to the big leagues and try to ease them in and only face soft tossing lefties.
Yeah, and I mean, he was expected to come in here and play every day too. He got off to a slow start, then played fairly well, and got off to a bad ending. Drove in just 1 run in his last 44 games played. Kind of made amends for that, hasn't he?
1-0 to Adam Everett. Shows bunt and takes a strike. Cardinals game 1 winners of this National League Championship Series. 5-3 last night against the Astros. Carpenter beating Pettit. Isringhausen to save. The Cardinals had never trailed in this postseason through their first 4 games until the Astros got a single run in the second, 1 more in the 5th. Pujols made it a 1-run game with a homer in the 6th. And now a big run on a Burke single here in the 8th against Tavares. 1-2 on Adam Everett.
The 2-seam sinking fastball starts it at the bottom of the strike zone, just bottoms out. Very tough to get that pitch in the air. Okay, I just mentioned a 2-seam fastball as opposed to a 4-seam fastball. The reality is there's only 1 seam on a baseball. It goes all the way around, but a 4-seamer is gripped across the big part of the horseshoe. A 2-seamer is gripped across the narrow part. And a little extra finger pressure on the index finger will cause that ball to sink a little bit as it comes to the plate.
1-2 to Everett. Driven into deep left center field. On the run is Sanders. Off his glove and against the wall. Rounding third and scoring is Burke. On his way to third is Everett. A run-scoring triple makes it a 4-1 Houston lead.
Now, Reggie Sanders might be shaken up a little bit out there. You talked yesterday, Bobby, about a bad route that Sanders took towards a ball. Here's another bad route towards this ball. Running straight across. Now the ball fools him a little bit. He's got to go up to get it. The ball hits off the top of his glove, and now he just is confused where it is and forgets to put his feet back on the ground. Now it goes down hard up against the wall. More than anything, you just hope Reggie's okay.
Yep.
He hit the ground hard off his tailbone, and his head snapped back down towards the dirt.
Well, you may remember earlier this year he missed 54 games when he fractured his right fibula during an outfield collision with Jim Edmonds, and you hope he hasn't re-aggravated that injury. It is scored an RBI triple for Everett. 2 runs home against Tavares here in the 8th inning, and now Ausmus with a runner at third and 2 out. Ball 1 down and in. Now you've had Brad Lidge up for quite some time, but now he has company down there. Dan Wheeler beginning to throw. Perhaps should they tack on another run here? It would no longer be a save situation for Lidge. It still is a save situation, and I bet we'll see Lidge. But 2 big runs in the 8th inning. Part of the order coming up for the Cardinals, down 3.